All right, well, at the end of the day, guys, tier lists are always opinionated, but let's get started. You already know who I'm gonna put at the bottom of the list. It's really just shouldn't even be a surprise. So Sub-Zero is the first character I'll talk about, and he's literally at the bottom of the barrel, bottom of the bottom. I think this character is a few changes away from being really good. I think we spoke about this in the last tier list that I had. I think in the beta before they nerfed him, he was really good, but now he's also just kind of like very average. Doesn't really have good mix-ups. All of his hit confirmable buttons have armor gaps, and they're -7, so you get jailed by stand ones and even punished by some characters on down ones or stand ones like Lao or Liu. So you can't really go into any of your hit confirmable moves without being either punished or jailed on block. Your mid is not fast enough to check people who are mashing on you, which I feel like he deserves at least that. If he's not going to be able to use his stand 1-2 or 2-1 without having a gap or being jailed. Good things about him, I will say, I think his dive kick is really good. I think his zoning and screen control is pretty good. Even though clone doesn't last that long, I still think his screen control is pretty good. You can clone and then people will jump into it a lot of the times, or use your back forward to create some space. And also paired with Serena, I think he gets pretty good damage and pretty decent confirms. But his back three, is not being able to combo off of a low is pretty. It kind of hurts without having an assist that you kind of rely on to combo off of lows, right? If this character was the same character that he was in the beta, he would be very good. I think he would probably be like up here if this was beta Sub-Zero, because he would have better damage and a faster mid and better clone. But they took all of that away, and I don't know why, because I don't even think he wouldn't even be a top tier character with all of his tools that he had in the beta. But it is what it is. I do think he needs buffs though. Please, NRS, like literally every tier list you've seen, this character has been bottom of the barrel, and it's for a reason. It's for a reason, right? So. I can go on all day about Sub, but we're not going to sit here and talk about Sub all day. Let's move on. Scorpion would be next. I don't think this character really does much of anything. He can be very annoying, like if you play against a Scorpion that wants to jump back and do back three and literally spam jump backs and then wait for something and then just teleport. Or if they play with Lao, I feel like that's a pretty solid game plan. If he had that, like, you know, I mean, if you want to play like that. But as far as like his up close tools, his jab strings aren't like the greatest. At least they're safe, unlike Sub. But yeah, also as a mid, it's a mid high, so it's a little annoying to, or it's a little annoying to pressure with as Scorpion. But yeah, I was gonna say Scorpion Goro is pretty good. If you do like back three into Goro call, you can combo mid screen off the low. But Goro, like if your character is reliant on an assist that is relatively low tier, I don't think that character is that good. If I'm being honest, like Goro is one of the worst assists, not the worst assist. I'm not gonna say that he's not one of the worst. Forgive me, but his cooldowns, like the cooldown on his up punch is very long. So if that's what you're reliant on, if you're reliant on that for your character to be good, then it kind of sucks, you know. This character, while I think these two are interchangeable, to be honest. It doesn't even matter. They're just like an A tier. Just leave them there. There's actually quite a few good characters. Loki, I don't even know if I want to do like 4 tiers. I think I might just want to do 3 tiers. The next character would probably be Reptile for me, but he would be like A+, because he's actually a functioning character. He can actually play the game well. His zoning is good. Not really good zoning, but his acid ball is pretty good. He has really good whiff punish game, like backdash my games with his backdash back three. It goes insanely far. It does a really good job of whiff punishing people that want to sit there and mash pokes, right? So pretty solid in that regard. He does good damage. He can go under projectiles with his little reptile form or whatever. But the assist that he uses is like Scorpion assist. I've seen him be really good with. You can use Lao assist, but everybody can use Lao assist, and Striker. I've seen people use Striker on him as well. I think next character is like Nitara. I think what's holding this character back is the fact that she has like really low health. Like you can get hit like a couple times and then still be able to like make a mistake or two and like live, but it's really unforgiving if you play Nitara and if you play a cameo that makes you lose health as well. Like if you play something like Nitara Goro, you have like 850 health. That's like insanely low for an NRS game. That's one less throw you can take, or like some chip damage that you can't take. You can't afford to take. But the reason that I feel like it kind of makes up for it is because you can kind of just get your life back whenever you're playing the character, and you set up her life leech is what I'll call it. If you're able to set that up, it's pretty good. Her strengths are really her movement and also pretty much her ability to open people up, because you know you're sitting there dashing around, flying around in the air. You can hit confirm off the sweep, which is something that Deoxy's found, which is really good, which I feel like the character really needs. But I feel like, just like I said, her health is just holding her back a little too much. But this character is very good. I do think if you play this character, you can win. So don't let this discourage you from playing this character. You for sure can play this character and win. Havik next. I do think this character is strong if you do know how to play him. And also, I think the best assist for him is Striker assist, which is one of the best assists in the game. but he's not like too oppressive in my opinion. He has like really simple mind games. It's really just like whenever you lose to Havik, he kind of has to either outplay you or you have to just pretty much guess wrong on his string 50-50s, or you got to be getting hit by his armor and stuff like that. Like he's not too hard to get around as far as like fighting him in neutral, because his projectiles aren't that great. They're very slow on startup, you know. But other than that, the character definitely has some good strengths. He has some good combo damage, and if he's able to like get started, he's actually really dangerous because he has like really cool like unblockable setups. He has like and whenever he uses the 2 bars for the tether setup, that's pretty good. It doesn't do that much damage, but it's still a guaranteed setup, so it's really good for closing out rounds and closing out games and stuff like that. Those are like pretty much my basic thoughts on Havik. I think my next character I think is like Rain. I think Rain is roughly about here. I used to think Rain was stronger when he could use like Cyrax really effectively, like when he had like the armor or wake up armor launch, and he had like poke into special launch, and you know, he was very hard to deal with, and a lot of his combos led him to, you know, be able to have like good 50-50s and good mix-ups afterwards combined with Cyrax. But now it's kind of hard to play this game plan with Rain because no other cameo really does what Cyrax did for him. You can only kind of choose one or the other, so like you can still use Cyrax. Cyrax is it still does the same thing. It's just really hard to use it because it used a lot of meter. So low-key, I think Rain is kind of, I'll just leave him here for now, but I think Jax is good for him. I think Sub is good for him. I think Scorpion is good for him, and I think Striker is good for him. Probably Shang. I think Shang is an interesting character just because this character has the potential to skyrocket, like I said, because if you have the ability to turn into any character that you're playing. So if you're good with their character and you have a cameo that can, you know, be appropriately used with their character, and I think he can be good. But I think his game plan is too like, it's very straightforward, and he loses really hard to like Sub-Zero assist. I think Sub-Zero assist kind of takes him out the game, and we also have Chameleon assist coming too. It's going to be like anti-projectile, so you can't really zone too well. But also if you fight somebody who's good at like fighting against zoners, this character doesn't really have much as far as like mix up. He doesn't really have like an auto shimmy or something. He has a good mid, but the mid really that's it. It's just a good mid. You lose your turn pretty much after you use it. So your game plan is really just zone and chip him out and throw every now and then. But I think there are other characters that play that same game plan that he plays better. Like I feel like some characters that aren't even really zoners can zone better than Shang. Like I feel like Mileena can kind of do that, like kind of like the walk back, be annoying, throw projectiles, but also she has ball roll, and also she has like air needles, and also she has like teleport. You know, she can kind of zone, and also she has other good tools that like when used in tandem with this, it makes it really hard to deal with. But Shang only has that. He only has the zoning. Like I don't think he has anything too crazy. And I think the next character we'll put here is probably Baraka. This character was a menace. This character was insane when Cyrax was really good, but once Cyrax got nerfed, it's clear that this character is he's not the same as he used to be. Like it's just not the same. Poke special mind games are still good, but it's not as good as it was when it was with Cyrax. You're not getting as much chip, and a lot of times you're dying for doing it. He has a decent projectile, but he's not a zoner by any means, and he has really good range on his normals, but still he has good backdash mind games. I think this character is still really good, but I think there's just better characters. Like I said, Baraka has decent range on his normals, decent pokes and poke special mind games. Next character I want to talk about, I think this is an appropriate placement for them, would probably be Lao. I think you could just play him really annoying. I don't think he's that great. I think why he's up here is really just safe armor launcher, and also the ability to have like really annoying like overhead / mid / throw mix up. Like he's really good as far as that goes, and he could kind of zone. His zoning isn't that great because his hat does go on cooldown when he throws it, but I do think he's really solid as far as like up close pressure. I think he has a really good up close shimmy, really good overhead damage. His mid is solid, but what he really lacks is range. Like he has little to no range. Like if you're able to outspace this character and like play backdash mind games, you force Lao to jump and you anti-air him. You force him to whiff and you whiff punish him. Like it's really easy to outrange him. But if he has bar, he's just gonna armor all the time, and it makes it really annoying because once you start playing around his mind games of armor, you're like, okay, oh, I know Lao's gonna armor, I'm gonna jump, and he doesn't armor, he anti-airs you. Or you're like, okay, he's gonna armor, I'm gonna try to run away from the armor, I'm gonna backdash, and then he does dash forward armor, or like, you know, you just start to lose to stupid things. Like Lao players can just do whatever they want pretty much. But and nearly without punishment, because the only characters that can really punish -7 armor is I think Johnny with his down 1, Liu Kang with his down 1, I think, and Lao with his back 1. There's not many characters that can punish these armor moves and whatnot. But next character I want to talk about is my boy Shao. I think Shao is an amazing character. He's one of those characters that, like, if you put some time into him, you'll start to find that he has really good Oki, like really good setups. Like if you're able to find a hit in axe dance, which is, given it is a little hard because he doesn't really have like the greatest range, but he does have a okay range mid. The low is okay, but the low has better range, and it's a good combo starter if you're able to like whiff punish with it. And stand 2 is his best button, really good button with stand 2. And if you play Shao with either Tremor or Shao with Darius or stuff like that, you get combos off of command grab. Command grab has armor. You have an armor command grab launcher, which is nuts. You have unreactable high low when you put the axe down. Like he goes from like playing like a little bit of neutral / zony game plan if you run with like Serena or Lao or something, or if you don't even want to play that game plan, you could just kind of get up close, play some up close mind games, drop the axe, and then up close he's a monster. Like, he got unreactable high lows, he has insane damage. Like I said, he can combo off the command grab, and he's just a really good character. He has armor when he picks up the axe and does the command grab. He has armor when he does his down forward 1 when the axe is on the ground, as he does like an axe swing that has armor. Also down back 3, which is one of the worst armors in the game in my opinion, but it's okay because you still have armor. Like, I think it's one of the worst armors because usually you could just down 1 or down 3 it and then he'll go over. But if somebody meets you with down 1 or down 3, you can get a punish and then take your turn back. So I don't think it's the end of the world. I don't think it's that bad. But yeah, like I said, I think Shao's an amazing character. Really good Oki. Everything about this character, he's really fun to play. Like, you guys should try him out if you haven't. I think this character is a sleeper pick. I think this character is really strong. Probably Li Mei. And I'm unsure of where to put her because originally I thought this character sucked. I didn't really think she was that great. But she has the ability to punish pokes and get insane damage. She has really good up close pressure. I think that she's like Lao, except if Lao hit for 50. I think that's kind of what she reminds me of, except her up close pressure is better. No, matter of fact, actually she's more like Johnny because she has really good up close pressure. She doesn't really have like low overhead stuff, but really good up close pressure, especially when you use like if you want to play Li Mei with Lao, you can sit there and run away, and then you could have up close pressure and just be plus all the time. And if you're really good at like backdash mind games, you can play those mind games with her. But if you use Li Mei with Scorpion and you want to cash out on damage, that's really her best assist. You just sit there and get mad damage all the time off of any hit. Pretty much anytime you hit anybody is 50%. And if you use her dash knee move, she could do insane damage. Like, I think this character just does really good damage. Like, really good for a pressure character because like you're sitting there pressuring them a lot, and then your cash out is really good, especially if you're able to condition people. She's also flexible as far as like assists you can play with her. I've seen people play Jax, I've seen people play Lao, I see people play Scorpion. Like, I've seen a lot of different assists tried with her. I've even seen Li Mei striker, so I think she's pretty solid, really good up close pressure. She doesn't really have really good range, but I think it's okay that her range isn't that great, because if she had a really good whiff punishment and good range and stuff like that, she would probably be like insane. So I think it's good that she's like a pressure character with good damage, like it's like hitting for 50. I actually low-key think that her and Lao should switch spots like that. I think that's next character I think I want to talk about is probably Omni Man. I think Omni Man is somewhere around here. I don't think Omni Man is that great. I don't think he's like insane, but I do think he's like somewhere up here. I think he's a S tier, I would say. Maybe not. I think maybe A+. So how I gauge characters, especially like newer characters, I like to think how effective are they at each range. Omni Man up close, he has solid up close pressure. He has solid mids. Mid range, he doesn't have like the greatest mid range, but he has like decent mid range buttons as far as like back one. Back one's okay. Forward 4 is really good mid range button. Like I try to think of like those kind of buttons, like it's really solid. But when you pair him with like Lao, like a character that gives him like some full screen pressure too, it's really good, and it gives him up close pressure as well. But I don't think that he has any full screen presence. He does have Viltrum stance or Viltrumite stance, but it's not that great. It's good when it comes to combos, and it's good for like dodging projectiles full screen, but it's not really good at pressuring your opponent full screen, because you can't do Viltrumite stance 3 because that gets up blocked, and everything else in Viltrumite stance is punishable. So it's not like you have options, which I think is okay, because like his combo damage is really good, and I think with Lao he has really good setups. But I want to try him with other cameos too, so I could actually see how the character really feels when it comes to like dealing with zoners and very good characters with like really long range and stuff like that, because he doesn't have like the longest range, and he's not like the safest when it comes to some of his launchers. Like back 1-1, I'm pretty sure has a gap, or back 1-1 is like mid-high, and I think forward 4-1 has a gap. So it's like it's easy to say that he's good when you're able to like kind of supplement it with Lao, but also we have to see. We have to see how things go when like Lao eventually gets nerfed. Maybe Lao doesn't get nerfed. I don't think Lao really needs a nerf. I think other cameos need to get buffed, but yeah. Smoke. I think Smoke is really good. You don't play this character for his like insane neutral or his crazy long range buttons. You play him to mix. You play him to condition, and you play him to mix. And this character is really good at doing that, especially when you're able to have like really good invisible setups. Like I played against Kerbo. He had a he played Smoke sub. He had an invisible setup, so he would do button freeze, and then he would delay and then do EX teleport to where he's invis, and then he would start mixing to where you can't really see where he is. Like you don't really know where he is. You don't really know what buttons he's pressing because the teleport put him in the air, so you don't even know if he's gonna go overhead or low. Like really, you have to have really solid setups with this character for him to be really oppressive. How I've seen people use him. I've seen other smokes as well, like Just Nasty and Sick. And this character really has potential, especially with his like a lot of his cancels. Like a lot of his cancels typically are safe if you're smart about it. But you could do like poke into dash cancel if they're not ready, and you could do like double poke dash cancel, or you could do poke grab. Like he has little mini mind games that he can work in, and instead of doing dash cancel, you can start doing poke into teleport, like teleport behind you, and if you mash, he gets a punish. Like this character is really strong. I think this character is very strong. So Tanya, we're talking about Tanya. So I think Tanya is really good. She has really good up close pressure. Like she has one of the best mids in the game. She has really solid jab pressure, so she could do like jab staggers, like jab into jab backdash mid, like, or jab throw. Same thing with her mid pressure. Like you could do mid, and then the follow up on your mid just hits because people get shimmied. It's her like just the way her buttons look and the way they work, it just works for her. She has really good long range pressure with her stand 3, especially when she gets her buff. Like if she's able to get her buffs up, she can hit you from really far away. And her EX projectile in the air is really good. Like if you jump back and you see somebody whiffing a button or something like that, you just throw EX projectile, boom, you get a combo. Like people don't really use that, but yeah, it works out really well. And also she has wake up. She has armor with Goro, so like you could do like poke special mind games and then call Goro in combo, kind of like Raiden a little bit. You could do armor into Goro. Like you just have options when it comes to pretty much getting your combo routes off with Tanya. She's very good at like conditioning, very good mind games. The only thing I think this character lacks is really just damage, and she's not like the best when it comes to zoning. Like if she's full screen, you could pretty much just duck her projectiles. It's not really like hard. They're very slow too, so you can kind of see it coming. And there's no real mix because if you see her spin a bar, you just block the mid projectile. It's not very hard to do at all. But that's the only place where I feel like she suffers even a little bit. But even then, whenever she gets her buffs up, she has that jump teleport thing. She has really good range on her normals. Like I said, really good up close pressure. She really just does everything. She just lacks damage. That's really it. I think this character does everything. She's missing out on damage. That's all. I think this character is very good. And then next we're gonna talk about Liu. I think Liu's really good. He has really good up close mind game. Liu is Johnny if he had a projectile, right? That's how I view Liu. And he can combo off his throw if you're playing Liu Lao or Liu Mataro. Like he has really good zoning. You just pretty much sit there and zone, and you get the life lead. And then when you get up close, you just sit there and you have great up close pressure. Where Liu lacks though is mid-range game. I don't think his mid-range game is that good. I feel like you can outspace him easy. I think Liu is a really good character because he does really good damage, really solid zoning. Like he has some of the best zoning in the game. And if people are trying to zone you, he has good counter zoning too, because if he does his EX mid projectile, it just beats other projectiles. And he has air fireball too. This character just pretty much has everything. Like, oh, I almost forgot to put Mileena. I think Mileena's roughly around there. Like she's also S tier. I think Mileena's really good. I think she has trouble when it comes to using strings on block, because obviously her 1-2 string is not safe. So you kind of got to mix up your 1-2 strings, and like you start doing jab into throw or jab into finishing the string, and then people get shimmied, or you start doing stand 2 staggers. And also she has, I think forward 4 is the overhead, right? Forward, you start to have to mix with like forward 4 or sweep. So like he kind of has like a pseudo overhead low mind game where it's not really like you don't get too much damage off of it, but it's still good mind games and good pressure. And then when you're tired of doing the overhead and the low, you can start throwing in sweep and stuff like that. And she also has a really good whiff punish game. If somebody's whiffing, you just do ball roll pretty much. It's hard to whiff punish pokes with it, but it's supposedly it's possible according to Sonic. But y'all know how Sonic be. Sonic is Sonic. So, but yeah, I think as far as that goes, I feel like she has really good whiff punish game with ball roll, and she can even kind of zone a little bit with low side. It doesn't go full screen, but you know, back away from your opponent, throw some low hats if you're playing Lao, or if you're playing Scorpion, she gets insane 50% combos. Like this character gets a lot of damage. If you want it, or you could kind of switch it up and play a little bit of a zoning playstyle if you want to play like Serena or Lao or something like that. Works out really well. I do think this character is really solid, and you can't go wrong picking her up if this is a character you want to play. Well, let's talk about Kitana. I think this character is nuts. I think this character is insane if you're able to play her properly. She has probably the best zoning in the game. So if you like, she gets full combos off of some of her zoning setups. She has good setups as far as like Oki. Like if you get a knockdown or finish a combo, you can get a nice little setup. She has good trade combos. If you do like a block string into that like EX overhead fan that launches and somebody mashes on you. She has good backdash mind games. Literally everything this character does is pretty good. There's nothing that she can't do. She has solid up close pressure, like solid staggers, solid mids, and she's the best owner in the game. Or one of the best owners in the game. She's insane. This character just there's nothing I could think of that this character doesn't do. She has good damage, good zoning, good mid-range game with her. I think it's her back two is her mid. Good pressure up close, good trade combos, everything. Good setups. Everything is great about this character. But there's characters that are just like insane right now. Oh, also she has armored launcher if you play the right assist. You can do armored launchers with her if you play the right assist. Like if you play Jax or Scorpion, I think you have armored launcher. So literally, I don't think there's a single thing in this game that this character doesn't have. Like really good. I think Geras is here, and I think Kitana will be like S+. Cause I don't even see like Kitana even. Well, Geras is really good too though. I don't know. Geras is right there. So we'll talk about Geras. We'll just leave Kitana here for now. We'll talk about Geras. So Geras is really good, like zoning. So like if you play Geras how Gur does, like Gur's like throwing low hat, he's doing forward 3 to get the knockdown and knock you away from him. He's calling Sandstorm, getting his hits in. Like he's really good chip damage. And then if you ever get hit by this character just shits damage. Like he does so much damage, especially if you're able to set up the 3 hourglasses where you get 2 freezes in one combo. You get like 50% setup. You get 50% combos. And even if you don't want to do 50% worth of damage on your combos, you could just call the snap and then still do a combo that sets you up to get another 3 hourglasses again. So now you can react to projectiles mid-screen and you can like freeze them. Well, you can't really react to projectiles. I think that's kind of hard, but still, if you can make a prediction on a projectile, you get really good damage mid-screen. Your combo game is that much better. And he has really good setups as far as like when he does the time stop and calling the clone. Really good overhead low. He has like command grab, untechable, unblockable setups, like that just shit damage. Like he just has so much in his kit that's so good. But the thing I think that's not that great about him is probably some of his up close pressure. And I think his armor is probably one of the worst armors in the game. That's probably what's holding him back. I don't think his up close pressure is too great because he kind of gives up his turn pretty easily unless he's calling like Lao, or if he's trying to play some kind of backdash mind game. But his buttons are really slow too. So you can really make, it's kind of easy to make him whiff or to challenge his buttons. If he decides to get close to you, you kind of just throw out jabs or pokes or something. Kind of easy to hit him out of it because those buttons are kind of slow. But other than that, I think this character is phenomenal. He's a great character. You should definitely try to learn him if you haven't already. I think the last character that I'll put in S tier would probably be Reiko. And I think low-key Reiko might have just shot up to S+ for me. I think this character is really good because he has some of the best zoning in the game, really solid normals. His mid-range it's there, but it's not safe. Like he has forward 4 and back 3. Like those are good mid-range buttons, but like they have counterplay. Like the forward 4 is punishable if you just block it. Back 3/4 is mid-high, so you could block it. You could block the first hit, duck the second. But there's mind games you can play around it, so it's not the worst thing. But I do think this character is really good just because the addition of Tremor is that much better for him. Before, I thought Reiko was really good with Darius because you got like insane damage off command grab, but now you can use Reiko Tremor, and now you have access to a cameo that has armor. You have access to a cameo that gives you wake up armor combos. He just gives you better damage on like meterless launchers. You have plus frames on block if you're able to call, I think it's like metallic Tremor. I think if you're able to really utilize Tremor really well, I think Reiko is S+ if you can use Tremor. Also, a few things that I feel like is hard with Reiko is like conditioning your opponent, because he is a command grab character at the end of the day. So if you go for a command grab and you're wrong and you know they jump and you lose, it is what it is. Like, so he is kind of like risky. So that's what kind of makes me want to put him down here, where you gotta like take risks in your game plan. But even then, I still feel like he's a solid character if played properly. So maybe I'll leave him S+ for now. I think I'll leave him S+. I think that's accurate for me. Obviously, the last few characters that we're gonna talk about, these are all S+ characters. They're all top tier. Sindel, I shouldn't even have to say too much about Sindel. I didn't think she was that strong when the game first came out, because all the Sindel players kind of like, or whatever, they didn't really showcase like how dangerous this character is as far as like setting up 50-50s with Lao Hat. And even if you're not setting up 50-50s with Lao, there's really good mind games when it comes to her back one, I think, or whatever mid that is. That mid hits so high up in the air. That mid anti-airs, you can hit confirm it. It's good on block. Like that mid it literally does your homework. Like that mid does everything for you. Everything that you could possibly think of, this character she literally does it all. But also, this character is really good when it comes to punishing people on block in the corner, because Sonic showed some shit. Like Sonic showed like you could punish down ones with her low hair flip or whatever. But that's not even what makes the character strong. What makes the character strong is she has insane setups and like unblockables and touch of deaths and 50-50s and just crazy shit. And she sit there and zones you the whole time. So she wants to zone you the whole time, and the moment you walk up and make a mistake, you lose the game. Like I don't think there's no character in this game that's like as punishing like getting hit by than maybe Sindel. I think she punishes you very hard for making mistakes, or even very simple mistakes in neutral too. Like, oh, I may have pressed the wrong button, or you know, I fucked up here, and then it's okay. I got hit. I'm gonna eat 30%, 50-50, guess wrong, I'm dead. And her forward one string is really annoying. Her down three is really annoying to punish. Like, you can't even really punish her down three. It has insane range. So Scream is really good for a whiff punish if you're able to backdash and react with Scream for pokes and stuff like that. She's really good. I think these characters are all insane. Next character I want to talk about is probably Raiden. I still think this character is nuts. I don't feel like this character doesn't have to think about his game plan. Very simple, very easy. He has solid zoning, like really good zoning, because he could charge his projectile up, and he could also just run away very easily. He has teleport. He has electric fly in the air, which pretty much is unpunishable by majority of the cast. And also Storm Cell. I don't know if they call it Storm Cell still in this game, but Storm Cell is insane. Like, you do down one into down back three, and you get insane chip. You're getting meter, and he's probably gonna call an assist to keep himself safe. And if he doesn't call an assist to keep himself safe, it's very hard to punish. Same thing with the Amplify version. The Amplify version pushes back like a year and a half away from, like, if he does down one into EX down back three, like you're not punishing that at all. He doesn't even have to call an assist. So it's safe on block and it combos on hit. I think he's one of the only characters in the game that just has a move that he can do on block or on hit, a special move that he can do on block or on hit, and he's able to just utilize it both ways. Like, it doesn't even matter, especially when he's using some of these certain cameos in the game. Like, you do electric fly. I just finished playing Kombat League. You guys saw it. This guy was doing electric fly into Kano knives and to keep himself safe, and then he would just keep his up close pressure going with like overhead or low. And then after he does any string, if I try to take my turn back, it's down one Storm Cell. I got hit, I'm getting comboed into the same thing. Like, this character is very oppressive and very annoying to play against, especially when you're fighting against somebody who's okay with just taking the life lead and running away. I do think this character he's an unhealthy top tier in my opinion. I don't know, it promotes zero thought process in your game plan. I don't know. Like, I feel like it's kind of whatever. It would be nice if he couldn't just do button into special on block without having to think about if he wanted to hit confirm or not. It's very annoying, very frustrating to deal with. So we'll talk about Kenshi first. This character is insane. I don't like, this character still was crazy in the first patch, and even if you watch my first video, if you guys saw, like, this character is clearly one of the best characters in the game. Like, very simple, he's not a simple character to play. I do think he takes some brain power, but pretty much, like, this character is too dangerous to get hit by. If you get hit by him, you pretty much lose the game. If you're at like 40%, you're in kill threat of Kenshi. He's like, he doesn't even have to spend bar for it either. It's not even like he has to get the right hit or anything like that. Pretty much, you get touched by Kenshi, you're going into sub freeze, and if they're not using sub, they're using some cameo that'll give them 40% off of pretty much any hit anyways. But you get hit, you get frozen, you call Sentu, you eat 40, almost 50% worth of damage in the combo. Then after you get comboed, you have to wake up and hold 50-50s and infinite pressure, it feels like. So this character is clearly great. Like, this character is clearly one of the best characters in the game, and it's not really It's not even really close. So I don't even have to really say much more about that. You guys know this character is insane. I think we'll talk about Ashrah as well. I don't know. I think when it gets to like the top tiers, it kind of gets hard to order, but I think Ashrah is nuts. I think this character is really good. She has really good range, really good up close pressure, and she has the best armor in the game because she just can flash parry. Like, I don't even know why they haven't, like, no one's even really talking about it. Like, she has flash parry armor, so like she could parry a move that you want to do on Oki or whatever, and then she can just cancel the move and punish you. Now you're getting full comboed off of armor. It's like, think about if Lao was doing wake up armor, except even though this character doesn't really hit for 50, she is for about 40. She's for like nearly 40, I think. High 30s to 40 off of armor, which is crazy if she flash parries. But also her armor is really good at getting out of the corner because some characters can't even punish it. She has really good overhead. The overhead is reactable, but when you're playing online, like how we typically are, it can be hard to reactable and nearly unpunishable sometimes because like you could kind of like hit confirm it. So you'll do like overhead into projectile or overhead into cameo call or overhead into launcher, and then even when she does the launcher, it's kind of hard to punish after as well. So like this character can like mix you and just have a hard time punishing her in general. I think this character is, like I said, easily one of the best characters in the game. She works well at all ranges. She has the projectile. She has the stance switches because she can go to light and dark stance. If you want to go to dark stance to get the stacks, no one even really plays around that because there's no need to. You could just stay in light stance Ashrah the whole game if you want to, or go to dark stance. It doesn't even really matter. Both stances kind of do the same thing anyway. But this character's not even that hard to play. I think anybody you could just pick her up and pretty much learn her pretty easily. But this character's very solid. So see, and the last character is not, we don't even got to talk about it much, is Johnny. I think this character is easily the best character in the game. You can argue other characters being better. Like I feel like once it gets this high, it's kind of like whatever. But I think the way that this character plays is just like, he's like the only character that does like what he does this well. Like there's other pressure characters, but Johnny's pressure is different. 9-frame mid, great plus frames. A lot of his strings, like if you're trying to play around a lot of his strings, he doesn't really have armor in too many of his strings. So like it kind of makes it hard to take your turn back, especially with his backdash mind games, because he's plus and then you're like, okay, I'm a mash, and then 4-3 is gonna kill you because it's 9-frame mid. And you're like, okay, he's not that plus, he's kind of negative. I'm a mash and he's doing backdash 4-3, and now you're getting killed again. You're like, okay, I'm not gonna mash, I'm gonna just sit here and hold the pressure all day. Now you're getting thrown, and now he's doing 1-1 into 1-1 into 1-1, and then you're like, okay, I'm a mash now. You're getting hit by 4-3 into 40% into safe jump, because for some reason he has like an easy combo ender safe jump. Shadow kick, fastest like fuck it move in the game. It's like nine frames, so it punishes so much stuff on reaction. It's not even funny. You just throw out EX shadow kick if you see somebody throwing a projectile, or somebody throwing a low hat, or if you just want to say fuck it and just throw it in general. Or you can call low hat and then do shadow kick and force your way in on a lot of characters. Like this character is like, once he's in, it feels like you just lose the game. Like, you know, all it takes is for him to get in, and it's not very hard for him to get in. Also, he has really solid damage, and he pairs up with pretty much a lot of cameos. Like Johnny could use Goro, Johnny could use Lao, he could use Sonya. I've seen Johnny could use Cyrax. Like this character pretty much uses whatever cameo is like strong pretty well. Johnny can use Striker. You do whatever you want with this character. It's not even funny. But yeah, this character is the best character in the game. So yeah, there it is. There's a tier list, but I'm gonna start ordering it now. So it's not ordered, but let's start ordering it. Sindel is number 1. I think SonicFox is number 1, but I can give you real reasons why she's number 1. It's gonna take a lot for you to convince me that fucking Sindel is better than Johnny, because I do think this character is insane. I think 2 is fine, but like for now, all right, bro, okay.
No, the real reason that she's number 1, like I adjusted my tier list. The real reason that she's number 1 is that literally she's the only character in the entire game. Her neutral is already like one of the best neutral control in the entire game, right? But she's one of the only characters in the game. She touches you, you can lose the entire game because she touches you. Kenshi does that too, but Kenshi needs a really solid hit first, where Sindel does not. Sindel, like, she can like call out hat and just walk up to you and press back to it, and you actually can lose the game off of that interaction alone.
Yes.
So like, you want to jump back, right? But if you're me, which anybody can get to my level, where it's just, I just see you jump back and then just let loud hat go and you land on top of it, and I can take 40 for that. Like,
yeah, you
can't really like do shit. She also smokes Johnny. Like, she actually completely deletes that character. Yeah, she.
Wait, I might have to pick this up.
Yeah. I think Johnny's like worst matchup is probably Sindel. So it's really bad. He cannot catch her.
Yeah. Wait, how do you think Johnny does it versus Ashrah though?
Ashrah, that might be a bad matchup.
Yeah, because as far as catching her, because I would think it's kind of hard because like she has long range buttons and especially if you're playing Serena.
That's why I don't think Johnny's #1 anymore. Like he's cheap, but the issue with Johnny is that he has some polarizing matchups. I think. Like he actually loses to some characters pretty badly. I feel like he loses to like Tanya pretty badly.
You have to tell me. You have to tell me. I need to know these.
Yeah. I think he loses to Tanya pretty badly. I think he loses to Sindel pretty badly. I think he loses to Ashrah pretty badly. Versus Sindel only loses to Smoke Sub, and that's it.
Smoke Sub? Oh my gosh. That
yeah,
sounds,
it's literally just that.
That sounds OD.
Sendel's space control is so broken too. Like
yeah. Oh my gosh.
She's always auto spaced at every like.
Yes, literally, and then like down 3. And
her meaningless damage is some of the highest in the entire game. Like if you get hit by anything, whether it's an anti-air, an air-to-air, a standing normal, you're taking 35% meterless always. She set plays you to death.
Oh yeah, that's not okay.
She has the best zoning in the game. She's can full combo punch a few down ones in this entire game.
Oh yeah, I've seen that. I saw you post that one.
Yeah, she has a throw loop. She has an auto shimmy.
Well, I was gonna ask you, yo, can Sindel punish Lau's wake up armor? It's -7, so I'm guessing she can punish that.
I just no. You have to be -9 for me to punish you, but like I don't even care about. I don't even care about him. I just do force 1 on his wake up and I just break it. I almost forgot. She's at 4-1 so my forward 1 is a hit confirmable auto shimmy that armor breaks you. That is safe on block. That leads to some really broken mind games, especially if it's max space. If I do forward 1 max space with Lao hat low and it just misses, then you're actually just taking a 50-50.
Sindel armor break is so broken.
In my tier list, like I have Sindel and Kenshi as top 2. I did put Kenshi as the best character in the game, but I'm gonna change. Like I should go back and change that to be that. Sindel is actually the best because the reason why is that those are the 2 characters they touch you once and the game actually ends. There's no other characters in the game that do that. It's like they touch you, the game actually just ends.
Okay, so now I have a question. Do you think if Lao was nerfed or Lao wasn't as strong? Or if Lao was mid or something, do you feel like that would hurt Sindel a lot?
If Lao became mid, Sindel would just shoot the S tier.
Okay, yeah.
But if it stayed low, but it has some more recovery, I still think she'll be the best character in the game because she can bypass that. Like she doesn't care.
Oh yeah. Like, yo, that's the shit that's so annoying. Like you sit there and see this character just flying. Like, oh my god.
Yeah, because it's the first time NMS has properly created a proper flight character where she can actually fly and drift and fall down with a button. And it's so cheap.
No,
they've never done that before. And so it's like the fact that they looked at the versus game and then applied her flight.
Bro,
I was like, yes.
I was getting cooked. I think I played against Full Auto. I was throwing down Lao. He was just flying, and then he was doing flight cancel button, and then he was like, okay, and I started unblocking, and then he's like, okay, flight cancel grab.
I haven't played a good Sindel until you played me. Maybe Quasi too.
No, I haven't played Quasi, but I played you when you were learning Sindel. I think with your Sindel now, probably not.
Yeah. Like, even when I was learning her, you were still kind of like.
I was like, yo, this shit is OD.
But now, Brad, like I have everything down pat because I'm legitimately maining her. I'm like, this bitch.
Nah,
she has a really stupid mind game of her back 2 that is so favorable for her. Like, where literally the only counterplay option is armor or up block. That's it.
Yeah, actually, and that's just annoying because some characters can't even armor it. Because if you're playing sub, you can't even armor it. Like.
Yep, and then I can fuck with you too because back to EX like back to instant air fireball can fuck with you. You can duck that, but like. You're not him. Like,
you're just
You're not doing that.
Nah, no one's doing that. Yeah, no one's doing that.
It's like it's too risky to just fucking get hit.
Yeah.
And like.
Yeah. I was sitting here ordering my tier list, so you cleared my mind on how I feel about S tier or S plus tier. This is how I'm gonna leave it. I think S plus tier looks good like this. The only thing that I think I could possibly change is maybe like Raiden and Lao, but I mean not Raiden and Lao, sorry, Raiden and Katana, but I think Raiden's just there. I think that's fine.
Yeah, Raiden's still like there.
Yeah, I think he's like I think he's right there.
Like I said, I also came in here to tell you no, Sindel's #1. I'm like trust me, trust and believe me when I tell you.
You know, I'll take your word on that. I'm gonna finish ordering up the rest of this though. I appreciate your input, Sonic. You're a goat. Appreciate you.
No, for sure. Also, if you're gonna play Lethal Company, let me know.
I bet. I got you.
I'm out.
Peace. We got input from the GOAT Sonic, and